One of the most dynamic scorers in Troy women's basketball history, Mandee Armstrong's name is littered throughout the Troy record book. Armstrong ruled the court for the Trojans from 1993 until 1997 and finished her career with 1,606 points, a total that stood as Troy's Division I record for nearly 20 years, and still ranks as the second best mark in the school's Division I history and fourth best overall. A two-time Mid-Continent Conference first-team selection, Armstrong led the Trojans to their first ever NCAA Division I postseason appearance, as Troy finished 23-7 overall and 13-3 in conference play, en route to a matchup with Virginia in the NCAA West Regional. Armstrong averaged 18.8 points per game as a senior and 18.2 points per game as a junior, which rank as the 6th and 7th best marks in school history, respectively. She also checks in 5th all-time in Troy history in scoring average at 17.1 points per game, 4th in field goal percentage at 51.2%, 2nd with 196 blocks, and 9th in rebounds at 7.6 per contest. Armstrong ranks 3rd, 4th, and 5th on the single-season blocks list in Troy's record book. It was evident from the beginning of her career that she would make a mark during her time at Troy. She was named the 1994 East Coast Conference Freshman of the Year after averaging 12.3 points and 8.1 rebounds per game. She also set the then Troy record with 62 blocked shots. After a professional career in Europe and a stint in the coaching ranks, Armstrong has now gone on to become a leader in the community. In 2016, Armstrong was named the police chief of the Monroeville Police Department, the first female police chief in the town's history.
I started playing in high school in 10th grade. My mom gave me the option to band or basketball, and I went with basketball. Probably the greatest decision I ever made. Coach Sherrill was a lot different than my high school coach, but she didn't let me get away with things that I was used to getting away with. I tended to be lazy, and Coach Sherrill didn't put up with that, which made me become the kind of player I needed to be. I was a freshman and had it in my mind. I did enough all summer. I was ready. And I made one lap and realized, I wasn't in the shape I thought I was going to be. I started walking, and before I made it back around, I was ready. I quit. I didn't want to play. I took my shoes off. And when I was walking up out of the stadium, Coach Sherrill come sliding in there in her vehicle. And it didn't take me but a few minutes to decide I was going to go back and finish running what I needed to do to be a part of the basketball team. My mom, my grandmother, my aunt and uncle who lived closer than my mom, they were here the whole time, so I couldn't ask for a better support system from my family. Dr. Hawkins has always been the most approachable president I've ever known of a school. From our preseason workouts, he'd be on the track and he would run with us, or basketball games, he was always in our corners. He would write little notes to us if we were doing great, just congratulating us as a team. I met Coach Davis when she was a volleyball coach. As small as she is, I was scared to death of her. And she would always call me lazy. Always call me lazy and tell me I could be better, I could do this and be better. And it got to the point I'd see the little lady coming and I would leave. I didn't want to hear anything she had to say. But over the years, I figured out that she was actually doing it to motivate me. That was just her way of doing it. And Coach Davis and I now are great friends, and I wouldn't be where I was today if it wasn't for her. The most influential person for me in my choice in coming to Troy, staying in Troy, and continuing my basketball career would have to be Denise Monroe. Denise was always the kind of person that would tell it to me straightforward. She would show up after games, never knew she was even at a game, and we would stay in the gym after a game trying to help me get better at things. No matter how bad I was, even attitude-wise, Denise always seemed to know how to make it okay. She always believed in me. So I owe all the credit to Denise for pushing me in the right direction.